On Friday, November 15th, Netflix and Most Valuable Promotions bring you the highly anticipated heavyweight boxing mega event of the year. Jake El Gallo Paul will go toe-to-toe in the ring against Iron Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet. Don't miss this epic showdown from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Watch Paul versus Tyson, now streaming only on Netflix.
The new Apple Watch Series 10 is here. It has the biggest display ever. It's also the thinnest Apple Watch ever, making it even more comfortable on your wrist. And it's the fastest charging Apple Watch, getting you 8 hours of charge in just 15 minutes. Introducing the all-new Apple Watch Series 10, now available for the first time in glossy jet black aluminum. Compared to previous generation, iPhone XS or later required. Charge time and actual results will vary.
Hello, welcome to Unequal Sequel.
Extra.
Try to catch you out a little bit by extending the sequel.
I did my jazz hands, but because I've been working on my car, they're really dirty. Can you see?
Oh, has you been under the hood? Is that what cool people say about cars?
I have been a little bit under the hood. We would say bonnet in this country, but yeah.
Yeah, but I don't watch many British films. I'm built on American references, even though I know that none of them mean. To be honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Anyway, welcome everyone. Welcome to Unequal Sequel, the podcast that talks mainly about sequels.
Yeah.
Yay!
And sometimes just random bits of our life and what we're doing.
Yeah. I have got written down small talk.
Okay.
So
we've done, yeah. Have
how
we done
are you?
That? I'm all right, mate. I'm okay. Frustratedly trying to fix things on my car and keep getting them wrong. But, other than that, all good.
Great. Okay, let's talk about this fucking bear.
Yeah!
Right. Small talk was out of the way. We are going to talk a review episode today, so hope everyone's strapped in. We are going to talk about Paddington in Peru, or as I like to call it, Pip.
Pip! Oh, nice. Pip.
We have to be a little bit careful with today's review, Rich, because we're very blessed in the UK to have this come out this week. The people in the United States of America have to wait until the 17th of January.
Whoa, really?
I'm not quite sure it's for the rest of the world.
Wow.
But they haven't got it yet. They haven't. Maybe because Paddington's now British.
I kind of like that. Because America gets movies before us all the time. We talked about Holdovers the other day.
We did.
And that we didn't get that for ages over here. America got it before Christmas. We didn't get it till after Christmas.
Yeah.
So this is just revenge for that.
They were, and also when we were growing up, we had to wait 8 months?
Yeah,
sometimes for films.
Months for movies.
And they would ruin everything.
Yeah.
Not that I was saying that the American listeners are bad people. They did do this to us. It was the studios.
No,
okay?
we didn't even get close to saying that. We love American listeners. We'd like more of them, please.
Yes, please. Go tell your neighbours.
We would absolutely love more listeners in America because maybe we could come over and do a tour one day.
Yeah. There's a dream.
There is a dream there. We'd love that.
I'd like to go to America. Even though what happened last week, it's all fine. Everything's fine.
I'm not going to blame all American people for who they elected because we elected Boris Johnson and I didn't vote for him. So I know how it feels to end up with someone you didn't vote for who's a massive blonde twat running your country. So I'm very sorry about that for all you Americans who didn't vote for him. For those of you who did vote for him, what the fuck were you thinking? Honestly.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
Oh, God.
Alienate most of America. But honestly, what the fuck were you thinking?
Oh, God. I was going to be like, congratulations.
No.
Congratulations.
No, I'm not congratulating that. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. Anyway.
He is a massive turd. Anyway, back to Pip, Paddington in Peru.
Yes.
Yes. Do you want to do the synopsis?
Yes, I do. because I've seen this movie last night,
Wonderful.
very late.
Oh,
I
were you
watched
the only one in the cinema?
I wasn't. There were about 10 people in the cinema, I'd say.
Okay.
But it was,
okay.
and I say it was very late. It was like 8:30.
Oh, well, for a kids' film, it was late.
Yeah, for a kids' film. So, Paddington has got his British passport. He's officially British. And of course, now he's got a passport. What's he going to do? Go back to Peru to see his Aunt Lucy. He gets a letter from a nun, played by Olivia Colman, who's like the lead nun of running the home for retired bears, saying that she's worried about Aunt Lucy and he needs to come back and see her. And he does. And all the Browns go with him, and it's really, really kind of sweet. He gets to Peru and he finds out that Aunt Lucy's gone missing. So he tries to track her down, whilst also trying to find the lost city of El Dorado.
And I think that's where we can leave
gold. Yes. I mean, I was going to say he does meet a handsome riverboat captain played by Antonio Banderas and his daughter along the way, join the cast. But yeah, so Paddington in Peru. I'm just going to leave it there.
No, I think that's good. I think we've got to really consider most of the world have not have seen this film.
Yes.
It's opened in the UK. It's opened quite big for UK numbers. It's made like nearly 10 million.
We will give you a warning if when we get into spoiler territory.
We're going to have to talk about a little bit of spoilers.
But we'll get to it. We'll get to it, right? We'll shout.
If we give spoilers and we haven't said spoilers, we're really sorry.
Yes.
Because sometimes they just sneak past us. They really do just sneak subtly but smoothly past us. Okay, so history of Paddington films between me and you. For us, where do you lie?
I love the first one. Absolutely love the second one. Think it's it's definitely in my top 5 sequels of all time. Paddington 2, I think it's incredible. It's got everything. And yeah, I think that I'm very, very high on the Paddington wave.
Yeah. Same me. Watched Paddington back in the day. Loved it. Think it's super cute. Nice, like a warm hug of a movie. The second one is like The Godfather 2 or family films. It's that good.
Yeah.
We watched it the other day, me and my wife, and it still makes us cry at the end when a certain someone knocks on the door. It's just too much.
Yeah.
It's too much for me to handle. And it's taken a while for Paddington 3, as I can call it now, to get here. I mean, the last one was in 2017. It seems it hasn't been smooth sailing to get here. They've gone for a few drafts, and there has been a change of director.
Yeah, it's not Paul King, which makes me maybe a little worried, because Paul King is very good at this kind of thing.
Dougal Wilson. Sally Hawkins is no longer Mrs. Brown. We've got Emily Mortimer.
Yeah, that's something we need to talk about.
A great actress as well.
We do need to talk about it though, because yes, I have thoughts.
Yeah, we all have thoughts. But honestly, excited for Paddington 3. It's, Paddington 2 is so good, and we had silly hopes that what can match Paddington 2, right? What can match that?
I don't think it's possible to maintain the standards of Paddington 2. So I was going into this fully expecting it to be not as good as that.
That makes a change from last week.
Yes,
good.
Yeah, it's very different to last week. But I think it was, I think it's fair.
Good.
And do you know what? I think it's clearly not as good as 2, and I think the main problem is, well, not the main problem, but I think the main standout is it didn't really make me cry at any point.
It tried at the end.
It tried, but it really didn't work.
No.
But I still had fun and I still enjoyed it, and it's not, by no means is it a bad film.
No, it is still a warm hug of a movie, and it's. Sadly, it is the weakest of the 3 now, yes. I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's no crime on it. Those two are like, very good.
That's like saying it's the least delicious cake.
Yes.
It's still great. It's still cake, but it's just not as good as the previous 2. But then, could it possibly be as good as the previous
Absolutely 2? Not.
That's the thing.
It's like following Aliens. I mean, kind of thing.
That's yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Alien 3 is trash, though. This is definitely
that's
not.
What I'm saying. You can't follow that. You can't.
Yeah, but
for what they have, what they got, and what we just watched is fine. It's good.
Yeah, exactly. It was better.
It was solid. It was cute. It was cuddly. It has got its problems, I would say. It's,
yep.
Where do you go from Paddington to? Well, you take Paddington back out of the country,
and I think that's fine as a concept. I didn't mind that too much. I think the where it falls down for me is the baddie is far too obvious and just not as entertaining as even Nicole Kidman or Hugh Grant as bad guys.
Well, no. When I watched that first one again, I forgot how good Nicole Kidman is in that film. In fact, I forgot Nicole Kidman was in that film. So I was happy with that. And then obviously Hugh Grant pretty much stole that second film, pretty much from beneath.
Yeah, absolutely.
Under everyone.
Yeah.
So I think they tried to make it more about the bear again, maybe in this one. And
a bit, yeah.
I did read that they did film a lot in Peru. When I say they filmed a lot in Peru, I mean the casts didn't film any in Peru or Colombia or wherever they shot the exteriors. No, they just took a camera crew out there for like 2 months and filmed all the exterior stuff, and all the plates. No, I was listening to an interview. I think it was the Empire one with Hugh Bonneville, and he's like, no, we spent a lot of time just hanging around the M25, near the M25 somewhere in big studios and stuff. And I think in some places it does show a little bit.
Filmed at Elstree, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can kind of tell, but everyone's still really good in it. It's nice to have everyone back. I was fine with Emily Mortimer. Sally Hawkins is a miss.
Look, Emily Mortimer does a fine job, okay? She's a great actress, but Mrs. Brown is the heart of the movies. Mrs. Brown is the one that makes you care about it. And Sally Hawkins was so good at that. I just found myself wishing that Sally Hawkins was in this movie. And I think it would have meant a lot more if she had have been. Because it's actually quite a Mrs. Brown heavy movie.
It's a family.
It's about her dealing with her family growing up and moving on and that empty nest kind of feeling.
Yeah.
And I think it just misses Sally Hawkins so much. It really does. I would love to have seen her dealing with that. And that doesn't mean that Emily Mortimer does a bad job. She really doesn't. She does a great job. It's just not the same.
Yeah, I think the themes of the film would have been carried through better, and they would have hit harder if that character stayed the same person.
I think I would have cried potentially if it had been Sally Hawkins. Mrs.
Yeah,
Brown,
I think there's every chance that I would have gone at the end as well. And like we said, there's no knock on Emily Mortimer.
No.
You know, so Sally Hawkins had other things to do, or she thought, well, you can't beat number 2, so why try? I think Paul King made a good decision stepping away. I mean, and Simon Farnaby, isn't it? He wrote the other two with Paul King.
Yeah, did he not write this one?
They wrote the story.
Oh, okay,
but not the script. So the outline, I would say, and then they gave it to
Mark Burton, I think, wasn't it?
Mark Burton.
Yeah, Mark Burton, John Foster, and James Lamont. Mark Burton was part of the first writing team, I think, wasn't he? Anyway, either way, but yeah, Simon Farnaby. He's very briefly in this.
I was really hoping he was going to be more in it.
Me too.
I always like his cameos.
Yep, agreed. Yeah,
I heard before he was going to be an air steward.
Yeah,
I thought, that'd be a really fun sequence.
Yeah, and it's just kind of a 1 or 2 seconds, isn't it? Basically, yeah.
If anything, I think there should have been more Paddington antics, if that makes sense. I don't think there was enough of that. You know, I went to a screening. I went in on Saturday. No, when did we meet up?
I saw it just before. You saw it Sunday. Yeah.
I went and saw it just before. I went and had dinner around Richard's. It was delightful. I went and saw it just before coming around yours, and the screening was packed, full. Very young audience, obviously, Sunday daytime, so it made it a little bit even more cuter.
Yeah.
No one really stayed around for the end credits. Did you stay around for the end credits?
I did stay for the end credits.
Stay around for the end credits, guys.
I was the only one in the cinema that stayed all the way to the end.
Yeah. The middle one's worth it. The end one is...
Yeah, the end one, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Middle one's worth it, yeah.
Middle one is definitely worth it. It's great. So it was a lovely screen to behold of, and there was chuckles, and kids were liking it, and so what, and it was a good vibe in there. But it just never quite took off magical. You know, the standards are so high for these films now. I think the only way was down. They couldn't carry on forever. But what we got, lovely. You know, Olivia Colman's a lot of fun. Her singing dance sequence at the beginning made me chuckle a lot. You've got Zorro himself as Antonio Banderas and his role and stuff. He was having a whale of time. I think the daughter goes missing. She gets lost twice. And we can't get her. The Gina character.
Judy.
But I feel like the Hugh Bonneville story, his arc, has already kind of been told in the second one.
I was going to say,
he keeps getting told to be more adventurous.
He's very much gone backwards, it would seem, from the end of 2 to this one.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I thought that as well. It's very much a retread.
But it is a kids' film, I have to keep telling myself, so, you know.
And I think this felt more like a kids' film, potentially.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel like this was as much for me as it was for kids this time around. More of a kids' film than a family film, potentially.
It's essentially more colourful. Because, you know, when you've got a film set in London, it's going to rain most of the time. But when you put yourself in beautiful Peru...
Yeah, true.
That's going to be more vibrant colours and stuff.
And I feel like it felt simpler. You know, like the storyline felt simpler. It's your bog standard kids movie adventure fare where it's not as quite maybe as nuanced or as whimsical or magical as the first or the second.
Anyway, it's slightly lazier.
Yes, I think so.
In storytelling. How did you feel that story organically grew? Like, did you enjoy the process of where it started at the beginning of the film to where it ended?
I think I'm going to have to touch on spoilers if we talk about that.
Okay, well, you can just say yes or no.
Yeah, it went exactly where I thought when I watched the trailer, and I told you. And if you listen back to our monthly roundup, I exactly called what was going to happen from the trailer.
It is a very safe and predictable film. I think. Again, it's a kids' movie. It's not going to be fucking, you know, Godfather Part 2, is it, at this point?
No, I guess not. But, yeah.
But as a family film, and go take your kids. I don't think there's anything too scary in there.
No, not at all. No, it's very much a kids' film. It's a PG, but I think there's a little bit of peril, potentially. There's not like, you know, there's nothing to worry about, really.
Yeah, and Paddington himself is super fun. What's his name?
Ben Whishaw. Ben Whishaw.
His voice is just now always blends perfectly.
Yeah, he's great.
Can you remember when there's a point when Colin Firth was meant to be Paddington?
Really?
And he did loads of and this before the first one came out, and he did loads of stuff, and then they both, him and the director and all that, agreed that it just wasn't working. Which is, I can't even imagine Colin Firth's voice coming out of a child bear kind of thing, but it works.
Yeah, Ben Whishaw definitely works. Yeah, absolutely.
It was nice to have some of the smaller cast back members, the London people.
Yeah, again, all too brief for me, I think.
You wanted more of that, did you?
I think if you I understand why you take Paddington out of London, but I do miss his like extended London family, you know, and the nice things he does for people and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know, it just didn't quite feel as charming, I think.
Watching the other two, they kind of felt like one of those unofficial Christmas films. There's a bit of snow, you know, it's in the winter. You can really lather
according
on that
to my
family side.
Poster of 100 Christmas movies, it's got Paddington on there. So
exactly,
not a Christmas movie, but you know, yeah.
I think there is. Does it? One point at the end, it ends in Christmas because he's got
snows.
Christmas lights up.
I think
he's got Christmas lights in his room and stuff. We noticed. So, but this one didn't have that feel.
No, not at all. And maybe that's why they're releasing it. They're not releasing it at Christmas anywhere else.
Hey, that doesn't stop. Yeah, that's true. Doesn't stop people. Red One came out in the middle of November, and that's a Christmas.
Well, I think that's because they're aiming for the streaming market for Christmas. Like, bring it out of cinemas in November, hit streaming for Christmas. I think that
crazy to think that way, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think
especially when they spent that much money on that.
That's the way it's going, isn't it?
It is.
Is it time to reimagine your future? The right business skills may make a difference in your career. At Capella University, we offer a relevant education that's designed to focus on what you need to know in the business world. We'll teach professional skills to help you pursue your goals, like business management, strategic planning, and effective communication. And you can apply these skills right away. A different future is closer than you think. with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
The holiday season officially starts when you get that first card in the mail. Shutterfly makes it easy to add more meaning to the everyday with hundreds of holiday card designs that can be personalized in seconds with your favorite photos from this year. Select your greeting, customize the color, and even add little extras like personalized foil to make a holiday card that really shines. Enjoy 40% off with code SMILE40 at Shutterfly.com and send something meaningful this year. See site for more details.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting. Go to your happy place for a happy price with Priceline's Black Friday sale. Save now and travel later with our best deals of the year.
Go to your happy price, Priceline.
Do you want to do spoilers and then we'll do budget?
Yeah, okay. Let's do spoilers. Okay.
So, we are entering spoiler territory.
Yeah.
Beware. Woo, woo, woo.
Sorry.
Well,
if you've not seen Paddington in Peru, if you live in a country where it's not out for a while, just turn this bit off until January and then come back later. Until you've seen it.
Or just come back in 10 minutes or 5 minutes or something.
Okay. So the biggest
many
problem...
spoilers.
Not the biggest problem, but the problem I majorly have with this is that Olivia Colman is quite obviously the baddie from the trailer. From the trailer, she's quite obviously the baddie. From the whole movie, she's sinister all the way through. She's quite clearly going to be the bad guy, but they do it as this big reveal, and I was like, it's sort of wasted. They try and set Antonio Banderas up as the bad guy, but he ends up becoming having a little redemption arc. That he's sort of bad, but then becomes good. I actually find his character very interesting because he's not like the mustache twirling bad guy that Hugh Grant is, or the out and out evil character that Nicole Kidman is. He's sort of haunted by demons which drive him to do bad things, which I think is quite interesting. But then it turns out that the mustache twirling bad guy actually is Olivia Colman, and I thought that was pretty obvious.
It is obvious, but it is also kind of fun. She says suspicious a lot, and she's having a great time with Julia Walters.
But I think it would have been so much better if she'd not been. If they could have gone through it all and made her look so suspicious all the way through, and then she actually be really nice, and she is actually really nice, and we all feel cynical and horrible about ourselves.
Would have been funny.
It would have been funny. It would have been such a clever bit of writing to do that. But there we go. Never mind. They didn't go that way, and that's. I think that's pretty a big letdown in terms of the thing. But also, I kind of like Paddington finding his tribe. I think that's quite nice.
So cute.
It is very nice. But again, it's. Yeah, and him saying he wants to stay with the Browns, I think, is nice.
So
that's
cute.
what you want, isn't it?
Yes.
But again, none of it really tugs on my heartstrings much. All kind of it's just...
It's cute. It's warm.
It's cute.
Fuzzy.
It's cute. It's warm. It's fuzzy. But I don't... It's just not witty enough. It's not quite charming enough. And I don't think it quite gets you enough. It doesn't tug at those heartstrings just enough, which does make it the weaker of the three.
Yeah, but it's still better than a lot of other films. Maybe.
Oh, God. Still one of the best sequels we've watched this year.
It's just weird because we have to keep it's disappointing compared to the other two, but still, compared to some other things we watch, we've got to be it's still good.
Absolutely. I still think it's a good film, and I'd still review it positively. But compared to Paddington 2, which is possibly one of the best sequels ever, that's not hyperbole. I genuinely think it's one of the best sequels ever made.
It's superb.
Then, of course, it's not a patch on that. Paddington 2 is a 7 out of 7 movie.
It had no right to be that good, Paddington 2.
Absolutely.
That's just magic. And this one, they've landed the airplane or whatever, but just never quite... I know what you feel.
Yeah.
I think everyone would say that will come in. I don't think anyone's arguing that fact, to be honest.
No.
Like I said, we can't really talk about box office because it's only been out in England, but it's only opened in England behind like Inside Out 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine.
Right. Okay.
So
it's done pretty well.
It's a
in
big
the
deal
UK.
here, but is Paddington, because Paddington 2 made less than Paddington 1 and made only 282 million.
It's wild.
So is it not like a worldwide box office draw?
I guess it isn't.
Is that why they took Paddington out of London and out of England to try and...
Maybe, yeah. They've got a more American name, I guess. Antonio Banderas is a big name, big Hollywood name, which they've not really done. I suppose Hugh Grant is, but he's very British. Nicole Kidman is, but again, like that. I think that first movie did box office better, didn't it?
It did. It was like the mid 300s, I believe.
Yeah, and I think bringing Antonio Banderas into this one is probably trying to hit on that kind of Hollywood market. But interesting, they're going to bring it out in July in the States because it's not
January.
January. Sorry, January in the States.
July would be a hell of a
I
way.
meant January. Sorry, because that's not historically a big cinema time, is it? Then that's when movies sort of go to wither and die a little.
I think Paddington, like if you go to airports and whatever or London shops, Paddington's a big draw.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how well it transverses to.
I don't know.
A worldwide market, but it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully it does. Hopefully people go and see it. If not, hopefully people will watch it, and if they haven't seen number 2, they'll go back to number 2.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the Rotten Tomato game?
Yeah, go on then.
We'll do all 3. So thank
Okay.
you, sequelizers. Go on then. What do you think the first one got for critics?
Oh, we just doing Rotten Tomatoes, not doing IMDb, or we just going to do IMDb for Paddington in Peru, or we're not?
We'll just do IMDb for. I don't think we normally do IMDb for reviews.
Oh, don't we? I don't know. Okay, I thought we did because I'm better at that one. Paddington 1 critics. I would be really surprised if there's people giving it less than 3 stars. So I think it should score pretty highly, with just a few like grumpy knobheads giving it less than 3.
Yeah,
I think 91%.
Okay, it's actually at 97%.
Amazing! That's exactly what it should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Audience popcorn meter.
I was gonna say 98%, so I'm going to stick at that for audience
For the first Paddington.
for the first one. Yeah.
Okay, 80%.
Oh, that's a bit sad.
Yeah. Number 2.
Yes, number 2
Critics.
again. No one should be giving this less than 3 stars. No one, and if they do, they're insane. So I'm going to go with 99.
It is 99.
Whoa! That is
99%.
deserving. I think that's one of the highest scoring sequels we've ever had, right? Like
It's very
99
much up there. I think it's up there with like Toy Story 2 or 3 or something like that.
Toy Story 3 maybe. Aliens maybe. Is
I
up
don't
there.
think Alien's got 99, yeah.
No.
Popcorn meter audience for this one?
So
Paddington
80
2?
surprised me for 1, but I think 2 is going to be higher, so I'm going to go with 97.
88.
No! Audience, what's wrong with you? That's wild. There are people that scored, like a significant number of people that scored Paddington 2 less than 3 stars.
Mad, isn't it?
What were they watching?
Okay, so we move on to Paddington in Peru. Or
Again,
Pip.
I imagine this should do well because it is a 3-star movie. I wouldn't imagine there are many people giving it less than 3 stars, but it's Rotten Tomatoes, so 75%?
Ooh, it's currently at 92%, but it's only got
Good.
38 reviews.
Well,
so
that's not a bad thing. I think 92% is right because Rotten Tomatoes gives it a positive review if it's more than 3 out of 5 or 6 out of 10, and it's definitely a 3 out of 5 movie. So that's good. And in audiences, all right.
you can,
Sorry, yeah.
there is no audience score currently.
Okay, all right then.
And I'm not quite sure that's because it hasn't opened worldwide yet. Or
Probably, yeah.
Whatever, but at the moment it is blank. I was trying to see. Well, what do you think? We might as well do IMDb quickly for Paddington. Just do the third one, Paddington Peru.
Paddington 3, I would say, that, we know IMDb is always between 6 and 8. I think this is probably a solid 7 out of 10.
Oh, 6.9 currently.
Okay, I think that's fair enough. Yeah.
I
I think 7 out of 10 is where this movie kind of sits, really, like in that kind of it's positive, but it's not amazing kind of bracket.
Yeah, I think if you just need to watch something with the kids as a family, it's going to work beautifully on a Sunday afternoon. It's a great trilogy now. We once did our top 5 trilogies. I think we did. I can't remember what we did. Would this come anywhere close now?
100%. This is in there. This is 100% in my top 5 trilogies. Yeah, definitely.
Do you think your boy's going to enjoy it? When he gets the chance to see it?
I think he will. Yeah. Yep. I think he will. He tried telling me the other day that Paddington 1 is better than Paddington 2, and I was like, no, mate. No. Yeah,
but your son's got always some very weird
I think he was misremembering, because he was like, oh, yeah, but they go to the prison and he does all the pink... I was like, that's the second one, dude. And he's like, oh, okay. So, yeah, we need to watch them again.
Knuckles in there and stuff. Yeah, I watched them the day before, both of them, and I was like, oh, wow, I can't wait for tomorrow. It's going to be lovely and like a nice warm cake kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was not pleasant enough.
Yeah, that's it. It's pleasant enough. It's just not quite there, is it?
Yeah. It won't make you hate Paddington in any way.
Definitely not. If you do, you're strange.
You're strange. I think everyone should just give it a go, give it a try. It's been lovely. It's been one of those films it's been hard to talk about because it's kind of just fine, kind of in a way. You know, we could, not like last week when Rich got physically angry.
Oh, absolutely.
And upset.
Not at all. No.
And there's not enough there to really delve into like, wow, we love it. This is great kind of thing. Just, it's one of those, it's fine. It's great. It's it's lovely. It's warm. It's one of those films. It's easy to watch. But it's just
not as good as the previous 2.
So basically just go and watch the previous 2. And if you have time, watch the third one again. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. But there we go. It's all right.
It's a recommendation from us then, isn't it?
We need to do scores, don't we?
Oh, yes.
So it's an unequal sequel because it's not as good as the last one. It's not as good as 2.
Out of 7.
But yeah, out of 7, I think it's a solid 5, maybe?
Yeah, 5 feels good to say.
So 5, I think 5. I think 5's about right.
It's definitely an unequal sequel. It's nowhere.
No.
Imagine if it could beat that film. Oh, blimey.
That's a 7. That the Paddington 2 is a 7 out of 7, 100% all the way. Right. But yeah, so I'd say this is a solid 5.
Solid 5. So that is a recommendation from us. Go check it out if you can. American watchers, listeners, wait until January. It's going to be nice to have in the...
Or, download a VPN and, pretend you're in London and get it on streaming when it comes out.
Do you think it'll be streaming before Christmas, though, will it?
I reckon it will.
There's got to be rules against that, surely.
No, there's no rules. They do it whenever they want.
Wow. Okay.
Think about the Fall Guy. Fall Guy was like on the streaming before it even finished in the cinemas.
That's true. That is true. But that has partially to do because of the response of people not seeing it and they need to make money somehow. Well, let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
Anyway, go see Paddington in Peru, or AKA Pip. Rich, can you see the lovely people out?
Yeah. If you want to let us know what you thought of Pip, and if you like Dave's abbreviation of it, then get on the social medias and let us know. We're on all the social medias, X, Threads, all that sort of stuff. We're at Unequal Sequel on all of them. Just type us in the search bar, you'll find us. We're on Blue Sky and TikTok and YouTube and all that stuff too. So yeah, go look for us. Or you can email us. We're unequalsequel@hotmail.com. Let us know what you thought of Paddington in Peru, and we'll read out all your comments in the end of the month roundup as always. Yeah, so we're about sort of the middle of season 7 of our interview episodes at the moment. So yeah, go back and listen to those if you haven't already. There's some brilliant interview episodes going on. And if you've got some time on your hands, go back and listen to all of our interview episodes. They've all been incredible. So we're not far off cracking that 100 interview episode mark. We're kind of getting close to that point now, Dave. Getting to the point where I'm having to start thinking about what my picks would be.
I was actually thinking that today.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, so be prepared for that. That's coming in a season and a bit. Essentially, we'll hit our 100th interview episode. So yeah, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the auto-download button. We'll drop into your pod player of choice every single week for that. If you really like us, you want to hear more from us, get yourself onto anotherslice.com/unequal sequel, where for just $2.99 a month, you can join our absolute bargain of a subscription service. You'll get Disenfranchised, where we talk about movies that should have had a franchise but didn't. You'll get Box Set Mentality, where we're currently talking about the George A. Romero of the Dead collection. And you'll get extra sequel sessions for all of our interview episodes, which are very fun. So make sure you get along to those. Join us over there. $2.99 a month. It's like half a coffee. Like, I spent a tenner the other day on a bacon sandwich and a cup of tea. Like, $2.99. It's a bargain. So yeah, get over there and you can join us on the subscription service, become a super special slicer. And yeah, that would be lovely. We'd love to see you there.
Yeah, I think you're done, Frank. Next week is a biggie. Sequel-wise this year. It's one of the big ones. Yeah. It is Gladiator 2.
Ooh, I'm quite excited.
So am I. You know, they've been bigging it up for a while. They've let reviews come out a little bit early for it, to be honest, and they've let a lot of people see it, not us.
No.
And I've heard good things, to be honest, so something to look forward to. Please keep sending your stuff in for us to read on the end of month roundup. That is coming. It's coming quick. It's going to be December soon, guys, so just want everyone prepared.
Can't believe it's going to be December. It's mad.
It is mad.
Absolutely mad.
Thank you, everyone. It's a goodbye from me. Bye-bye. And it's a goodbye from him.
Bye!
See you on the next one. Sequels to this one. Have a great week. Bye.
So when this one comes out, Gladiator 2 will be out. I might have watched it already.
Yeah, I'm booked in Saturday night to see it.
Are you? Okay.
Yes.
I might go and see it like Friday or something. I don't know.
And then we can record the interview and we can be ahead of ourselves a little bit.
That'd be nice.
Wow.